In 1969, Pontiac dropped a bomb on the muscle car world, the GTO Judge, a name that wasn't earned in a courtroom, but on the street. Raw, loud, and absolutely untouchable. But that was over half a century ago, and we asked ourselves one question. What if the Judge was sentenced to a new era? Not restored, not locked behind velvet ropes in some collector's garage. Reborn, wider, lower, angrier, every bolt, every panel, every curve reimagined for a world that wasn't ready for the original, and sure as hell isn't ready for this. This is a twin-turbo, wide-body, pro-touring 1969 GTO Judge Restomod, and nothing about it asks for permission. Start at the front. The iconic split grille has been reworked but not erased, framed by quad headlights that burn amber through the darkness like the eyes of something that's been hunting you for miles. A carbon fiber front splitter sits low, almost kissing the wet asphalt, feeding air underneath and pressing 1,300 pounds of downforce into the road. The wide-body fender flares push the stance out by nearly 4 inches on each side, giving it a posture that says, "Get out of the way," or "Get run over." The paint. Burnt orange metallic, laid down in layers so deep it shifts between copper and fire depending on where the light hits. Black racing stripes run the length of the hood, over the roof, and down the rear deck. No chrome, no polish, just raw, dark tension. Drop down to the wheels. 20-inch forged deep dish, wrapped in rubber so wide you could land a plane on it. Behind those spokes, 6-piston Brembo calipers clamp down on drilled and slotted rotors. Because when you're pushing over 1,000 horsepower, you need to be able to stop just as violently as you accelerate. Pop the hood, and it gets serious. A twin-turbocharged 455 cubic inch big block V8. Not a crate motor, not a Restomod compromise. This is 1,100 horsepower of forced induction fury, routed through a Tremec T56 6-speed manual to a Ford 9-inch rear end with a limited slip differential. This is not a car that negotiates. It takes what it wants. Slide inside and the cockpit tells you everything you need to know. The original dash layout has been rebuilt in carbon fiber. A racing steering wheel sits where the old wood grain used to live. Full custom black leather with orange contrast stitching wraps every surface. A roll cage runs behind the headrests because this car was not built to sit in a showroom. It was built to be driven until the tires are gone. Walk around to the back. A massive rear wing extends the roofline. LED taillights glow through the darkness. And underneath, the exhaust tips exit through a carbon fiber rear diffuser, spitting fire on the overrun. The sound alone would set off every car alarm on the block. The air ride suspension drops the body so low it looks like it's melting into the pavement. And when it moves, when those turbos spool and that big block screams, the ground shakes, the air splits, and everything in the rearview mirror disappears. This is what happens when you refuse to let a legend die. When you take the soul of 1969 and wrap it in the engineering of 2026. The '69 Pontiac GTO Judge Widebody Restomod, built by Iron Renders. Not a restoration, a resurrection.